afternoon po. How are you po, sir?
Hi guys.
Hello po.
Hello
Good
po, sir.
afternoon
Good
po.
afternoon po.
Po.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon po, sir. We are from PNU and our major is Bachelor in Filipino Education and the course that we are taking today, the course that is connected to this interview is Managing the Learning Environment. To start it, I am Denchilan J.G. Relato.
And I'm Carla Alvarez po.
I'm Leandro Manegdeg po, sir.
I am Micaela Rodriguez po.
To formally start po, sir, pwede po ba nabigyan niyo lang po kami ng brief background po sa, niyo po, sa career niyo po? Kahit
Yeah,
may
abs
po.
absolutely. So, good afternoon, everybody. I am Sir MJ Fulgueras, and I am a senior high school teacher. I am currently teaching in one of the secondary public schools in Quezon City, E. Rodriguez Junior High School. Regarding the position that I'm currently holding, I am a master teacher too. Uh, in our school. And just to give you a little background of my education, I am also a graduate of Philippine Normal University. I graduated in 2019. I had my master's at PNU, Master of Arts in Education with specialization in English language teaching.
Ayan, sir. Mabuhay ang mga guro ng bayan. Ayan.
Yes, of course.
Yes, opo. Okay, first po, ako po muna po siguro, no? Okay po. For my first question po, for our first question po, when did you start teaching and how long have you been in the field of teaching?
I started teaching in 2016. So technically speaking, I now have like almost 7 years of teaching experience in public.
In public. But nag-start po kayo sa private muna? Or
Yes.
okay.
I also had like 2 years experience in a private school.
Ayun. So, nasagot na ni Sir yung questions, yung second question natin, na yung where did you start teaching? So, ayun, nag-start si Sir sa private. Ayan. So, next na po. Thank you po, Sir.
Absolutely. Divine Grace Catholic School, if you'd like to know the school. The private school, the name of the private school where I taught.
Okay, third question po, sir. Give the least number of the students you taught in one class session po.
Rough estimate, siguro mga 40. 40 the least number of students.
Question number 4. Give the most number of the students you taught in just one class session po.
Roughly around 58 to 62 students.
Wow. And this is in a public school.
Yeah, in a public school setup here.
For your next question po, when you experience being assigned as an advisor in a class, what does it feel like?
During my first year of teaching, in 2016, I was assigned as a class advisor for grade 11 peso. So just to give you a little background of the students I handled during that year, they were students taking up home economics as their strand. So basically, these students were under TVL track. And as regards to the feeling I had when I was an advisor, it was actually like I was happy. Specifically when it comes to like managing the students. However, in terms of like paperworks, okay, well, I'm pretty sure you will understand where I'm coming from the moment that you get in a public school also someday. So in terms of paperwork, I was really bombarded, and the feeling was really like how can I say this? The feeling was really not good. I mean, because I firmly believe that I can just like simply teach, and teachers really will definitely be productive if their job will only be like teaching students.
For the next question, sir. For the next question,
Jinsan.
can you enumerate the three most challenging learner behaviors that you observe in your class?
Absolutely. First, first would be students' punctuality. Okay, so right now I'm handling senior high school students. So majority of them, I can really say this, majority of them are always late in class. Okay, so that's one. The second one is meeting the deadline for the school requirements. Okay, I am a kind of teacher who provides the requirements onset of the semester, meaning to say a week. Um, the moment that the school year starts, I immediately provide the requirements they need to comply. My purpose of doing that is because I'd like them to submit their requirements on time. However, despite that fact that I provided them the requirements beforehand, still, majority of students are having a hard time meeting the deadline. So, well, of course, I need to like adjust. I need to like give consideration, even though we agreed initially that those are the deadlines they need to meet. Okay, well, you will definitely understand that the moment that you get in public school someday. The third one, active participation to class discussions. Okay, so I am an English teacher. So this is my personal observation. If whenever I require them to speak in English, whenever we have like class discussions wherein they are required to speak or use the medium English as their language, majority of them really don't want to participate. Okay, so maybe they are afraid to commit lapses, but one of the things that I usually do in order to somehow ease that burden is to break the barrier, like encourage them, tell them verbally that hey, it's okay to commit mistakes. What matters at the end of the day is your participation and your willingness to participate in our class discussions.
Well, sir. So, question number 7 would be, can you give at least one from your indicated behavior brought by your students that you may consider difficult to address and why?
Mhm. The first one I mentioned, the students' punctuality, because I think regardless of many many reminders that hey, you always need to come on time, you always need to make sure that you'll sleep early so that you will come out on time in school. Still, that's hard to manage because that's at the end of the day, I firmly believe that it's their choice. Okay, I mean I cannot monitor their behavior at homes, right? So I think that's very uncontrollable on the teacher's part.
As an experienced advisor of the class, what are the common factors that you observe to the explicit behavior of the students?
I can give one, and I think it's all about like willingness. For example, in the class participation that I mentioned earlier, if the students, for example, are not really like willing to participate, no matter what the teachers do, whatever strategies that the teacher utilize, if the student, for example, doesn't really want to participate, then the teacher will have a hard time achieving the target objectives.
For question number 9 po, what do you think are the most helpful approaches that you use to improve students' behavior inside the classroom po?
Absolutely. So yeah, well, I firmly believe in the power of asking. Okay, so I always start by determining the root cause. So I ask. For example, the student doesn't want to participate in a class discussion. So, well, first, of course, I observe, and then after my observation, and for example, after I was able to confirm that the student really has that reservations, I start asking the student and then provide pieces of advice, provide perhaps the benefit, okay, the benefit of participating in class discussion. And you know what? Surprisingly, it actually works. The moment that you showed your student that you are there to help him or her, eventually it will provide you a positive result. Because if I could remember one student of mine back 2018, she was really like a quiet student, okay, and she really doesn't want to participate no matter what activities I provide. She really doesn't want to participate. Okay, so I had a one-on-one session with that student. Of course, I determined the root cause, and I found out that the reason why the student doesn't want to participate is because before she was like bullied by her classmates. I mean, there was a class recit before she told me that she provided the wrong answer and she got traumatized because her classmates really laughed hard when she provided that answer. So since then, she doesn't want to participate in class discussions anymore. But good thing, I talked to that student. I told that student that it's okay to commit mistakes. You should not be um, You should not be affected by that specific experience in the past, because what matters at the end of the day is your willingness and your eagerness to learn and participate in order to have like good grades.
Question number 10 naman po. What are your strategies and techniques that you use to manage their behaviors po?
So as regards to the specific strategies that I utilize in my class, I see to it that first, they'll treat me as their um, facilitator, not like a teacher to be really technical, but a facilitator, meaning to say, um, they are the ones who should be responsible for their own learning. Okay, because I firmly believe in the power of progressivism as one of the approaches in education, and I am really like amazed with the result of that approach. So I only like provide them instructions most of the time, and then I let them do their part. Of course, feedbacking is very important. So every after the activity that they have done, I see to it that I provide my feedback, just like in creative writing. We have this critiquing session wherein after they have written a specific like written output, I see to it that their classmates provide their feedback, their classmates provide their constructive criticisms, and again, I'm happy with the results because they are becoming responsible with their own learning. And I think that's that should be the education that we have right now. Teachers should not really be the center of attraction, meaning to say we should not be using spoon feeding approach. Okay, we should let the students be responsible with their own learning.
Ayan. Thank you very much po, sir.
The last
Right.
question, sir. Follow up lang po. What's the best advice you've given about teaching po?
Um, love what you're doing. As simple as that. Okay, because if you guys become teachers someday or other, as early as now, I'd like to set your expectation that you won't get rich. You won't be rich. Okay, you won't get rich. But if you want to like touch lives, if you want to be remembered, then you're on the right track. Teaching is really one of the best ways on how you can achieve that. So love what you're doing.
Thank you so much po talaga, sir, for taking this interview. Even though kahapon ko lang po kayo chinat. Thank you po.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I told you before I can be of help, right? Pag
Yes.
carry naman.
And then congratulations po sa mga na-research niyo po, sa mga achievements niyo po. So, parang galing niyo ba, sir?
So good luck, mga scholar ng bayan. You should be proud na nasa PNU kayo kasi ang PNU, under the law yan, National Center for Teacher Education. So congratulations. I heard that you guys are Filipino majors. So congratulations at galingan. Binabati ko kayo sa inyong project.
Thank you po. Thank you very much po. Ayan, good afternoon po, Sir Nico. So kami po nandito kami sa Philippine Normal University and currently nagte-take po kami ng Bachelor in Filipino Education po. And yung course po namin ngayon na kailangan po naming pag-aralan na may kinalaman din po sa interview na to ay yung managing the learning environment. So, kami po ang group 2 and ako po si Micaela Rodriguez.
Yung isa po namin yung si Carla Marie Alvarez and I am Jinson Iprisco po.
I am Leoandro Manegdeg po.
Good afternoon po. I am Dunchilan Jade Girlato.
Iot ko lang din po, Sir Nico. Naka-record po yung interview po na ito kasi po yun po kasi yung nire-record po sa amin ng prop po namin. Maraming salamat po.
To formally start our interview po, can you provide a little background of yourself po?
Okay, sige. Good afternoon. I am Nico John M. Samson. I am from Colegio de Santa Rosa, Makati. I'm a teacher there, a junior high school teacher. So, hinahandle ko yung grade 7 to grade 10. And ang tinuturo ko ay music, arts, and PE.
Thank you for that info po.
So, good afternoon po ulit. So, the first question would be, when did you start start teaching, and how long have you been in the field of teaching po?
Ayun, just like what I said earlier, no, nagtuturo ako dun sa school ko ngayon sa Colegio de Santa Rosa. 5 months na. This January ang pang aking 6th month na pagtuturo doon. And then, nag-start ako August 2022.
Thank you for answering that question po. The question number 2 would be, where did you start teaching? And pa-indicate na lang po ng school name, private or public, and division of school.
Ayun, so I'm from Colegio de Santa Rosa, Makati nga, no? Private school siya, and then division of school, hindi ko alam yung division of school, pero Makati. Okay, Makati siya.
Thank you po. Next po is si Leo.
Hello po again, Sir Nico, Kuya Nico. For question number 3, give the least number of the students you taught in one class session.
Ang least ay 20, ang most number ay 25. Ayun.
Ayun, okay po. Nasagot na rin po yung question number 4. Salamat po, Kuya.
Have you experienced being assigned as an advisor in a class po? When? What does it feel like?
Hindi pa. Hindi pa kasi I'm a music and arts as well as PE teacher. So, usually kapag MAPE teacher, same with public school, usually kapag MAPE teacher, hindi siya pinag-hawak or pinag-handle ng advisory class kasi marami siyang pine-prepare na lesson plan. Kasi imagine ang tinuturo kong subject, 3, music, arts, and PE. So, yung 3 yon, gagawin ko ng lesson plan. And ang hawak ko, grade 7 to 10. So, 4 grade levels times 3 sa isang linggo. Okay, yun yung lesson plan na ginagawa ko. So, hindi ako nakakapag-advisory.
Yun po. So, next question is, enumerate 3 most of your challenging learner behaviors that you observe in your class po.
Sige. Number 1, siguro yung pinaka-challenging behavior na nahawakan ko is yung hindi sila nakikinig. Hindi sila nakikinig. It's either nakatingin sila sa labas, nakatingin sila sa kawalan, or inaantok sila, natutulog. Kasi dun sa usually nangyayari yun kapag first subject, tsaka last subject, or last period, first period. Inaantok sila or parang uwing-uwi na sila, nakatingin na sila sa labas, o kaya pag may nakita sila sa labas na may lumabas ng estudyante, parang bet na rin nilang lumabas, gano'n. And then, ayun, kaya sila lagi nagsi-CR, ewan ko, ayun, yun yung lagi nilang ginagawa. Or yun yung isa sa mga behavior or challenging behavior ng student na hinahawakan ko. And then second, hindi sila nagpapasa. Hindi sila nagpapasa. Kahit nakailang follow-up na ko. Kasi in private school, nagpa-follow up kami. Nagpa-follow up kami. Unlike sa public school, I believe may mga galing sa public school dito. No? Sa public school, pag di ka nagpasa, automatic 0 yon, di ba? Or ikaw mismo yung manghihingi ng tawag dito, i-convince mo yung teacher mo na tanggapin yung late submission mo. Okay? Sa private school, hindi ganun yung nangyayari. Okay? For example, yung isang estudyante, hindi siya nagpasa wala siyang pinasa. Actually, wala siyang pinasang activity. Naka-3 follow-up na ako. Like, nagsusulat ako sa diary nila. May diary kasi sa private school, kasi sinusulat ko doon. Ayun, hindi sila nagpapasa kahit nakailang follow-up na. And then, ano pa ba? Meron akong isang estudyante na sobrang energetic niya. Hindi ko masabi kung ano yung meron sa kanya kasi wala naman akong degree for that sa psychology, no? Pero sobrang energetic niya, as in hyper siya. Kahit hindi siya yung tinatawag, siya yung sasagot, tumatawa siya bigla sa klase, tapos yung buong klase tahimik siya lang yung tumatawa, ganon. Ayun, may ganon akong estudyante ngayon. So, yun yung pinaka-3 na challenging behavior na nakikita ko sa klase ko ngayon.
Question number 7 po, can you give at least one from your indicated behavior brought by your students that you may consider difficult to address, and bakit po?
Kung kanina, dagdag ko din yung may estudyante kung clinically diagnosed siya na may autism and depression. May mga times sa klase ko na biglang hindi siya pumapasok. Kasi di ba, subject teacher lang nila ako. So pumapasok lang ako sa mga pumapasok lang ako sa mga room. And then, sakto pagpapasok ako ng room, wala na siya doon. Okay? Nag-CR na siya before ng subject ko and hindi na siya bumalik. Ang nangyayari sa kanya, nagtatago siya sa CR, sa CR, sa library, nasa guidance office siya minsan, tapos ayun. Mahirap siyang i-address kasi although pinag-aralan yun sa college, no, part siya ng subject sa college na how to handle different students or diverse na klase. Mahirap siya i-handle kasi hindi mo alam kung yung sasabihin mo ba makaka-affect sa kung paano kanya kausapin, ganyan, or baka sensitive siya, ganun. Kasi meron siyang paniniwala na dapat daw hindi pinupush ang estudyante kung hindi niya gusto yung isang subject. Eh syempre sa school, di ba, dapat lahat matutunan mo. So ayun, may mga subject siya, hindi lang sa akin, no, may mga subject siya na hindi niya talaga pinapasukan. And na-realize ko yun na hindi siya pumapasok kasi music arts ang hinahawakan ko sa grade 10 and grade 10 student ko siya. Sa music, pumapasok siya. Pag arts, di siya pumapasok. Pumapasok siya sa music kasi magaling siya sa piano, nakakasagot siya sa mga tanong ko, pero pag arts, di siya pumapasok. It's either nasa loob siya ng cubicle sa CR. Ganun. Ayun. Mahirap siya i-why kasi iba yung pag-handle as a teacher and iba yung pag-handle as someone na may degree sa psychology. Kasi pag may degree ka sa psychology, alam mo kung paano mo i-handle, alam mo yung mga interventions na dapat mong ibigay sa kanya. Pag teacher ka, hanggang dun lang sa loob ng school yung kaya mong maabot. Okay? In reality. Hindi mo siya pwedeng pakialaman sa labas ng klase. Pwede pala, pero kakausapin mo pa yung magulang. Eh yung magulang nung estudyante kong yun, hindi siya nagko-cooperate together with the teachers. So nahihirapan kami. So yun.
Question number 8 would be, as an experience, oh my God, di po ata namin tumatanong kasi hindi po ba kayo naging advisor? Or can you experience na lang po, can you share experience na common factors na na-observe niyo po na explicit behavior po ng estudyante?
Napansin ko kasi, yun nga, yung sa mental health ng bata, okay, isa yun sa mga nakaka-affect. And then, yung nangyayari sa bahay nila. Okay, meron kaming isang estudyante, ayun nga, yung hyper na yun. Kaya siya hyper daw sa school kasi hindi siya nagiging ganon sa loob ng bahay nila. Okay, so parang may factor sa family nila na nadadala niya hanggang bahay, hanggang school. Okay, so yun. Isa pa, hindi ko alam kung anong factor ba't hindi sila nagpapasa. Okay, hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam. Siguro hindi sila focused. Sa dami ba naman ng lumalabas na gadgets, application, social media, okay? Kasi maski ko, nahihirapan ako mag-focus. So, ina-off ko talaga yung mga social media apps ko kapag nagtatrabaho or gumagawa ng lesson plan. Siguro yon for the, yung generation nila ngayon, may nahihirapang mag-focus dahil sa dami ng lumalabas na distractions.
Ayan, for question number 9 naman po, what do you think are the most helpful approaches that you use to improve students' behavior inside the classroom?
Ako kasi, as non-advisor, kinakausap ko yung advisor, isa yon na approach na ginagawa ko. Tapos, sinasabi nila sa akin yung background ng estudyante para naiintindihan ko, ganun pala. Okay. Kasi nung hindi ko alam yung estudyante na meron siyang autism tsaka depression, muntik ko na siyang pagalitan. And then, nung nalaman ko yon, ayun, inintindi ko na lang siya na nawawala siya sa arts class ko at pinapahanap ko siya sa president ng klase or class mayor ng klase. Ayun. Tapos sinusundo nila sa cubicle, ganyan. O kaya sa library. Ganun. Ano pa ba? Siguro yung kasi since nawawala sila sa focus, kahit wala silang gadget na hawak, yung nakatulala sila, ang ginagawa ko, kino-call out ko sila, tapos tatanungin ko sila about the lesson. Yun. Tapos kung hindi nila yun masagot, hindi ko naman sila ipapahiya. Ang gagawin ko sa kanila, manghingi ako ng number na, kunyari, ang number na ibibigay nila 3. Si class number 3, yung tutulong sa kanila na sasagot dun sa tanong. Na we hope na yung number 3 ay nakikinig sa klase. Kasi kapag hindi pa rin nakikinig si number 3, magtatanong ulit ako ng number, tapos gano'n. Domino effect siya hanggat masagot yung tanong na nasa lesson. Para lahat sila ay makinig sa klase na nagtatawag ako. Okay? Ayun. Hindi ko ma-integrate yung index card eh. Ayun, index card sana. Kaso wala kasi sa DepEd, tinanggal na yung yung tawag doon? Participation. Tinanggal yung participation sa grading system. So parang wala na silang pake sa hindi pagre-recite. Okay, wala silang pake sa pagre-recite, ganun. So nahihirapan akong kuhanin yung attention nila. So yun yung isa sa mga ginagawa ko.
Ayan, yung mga approaches po na sinabi niyo talagang magagamit din po namin pag kami naman po yung naging guro. Ayan,
Yung
for question number 10 naman po, what are your strategies and techniques that you use to manage their behaviors po? Strategies naman po.
Strategies. Ayan yung call out. Strategy ata yun. Ano ba? Okay. Ang ginagawa ko is yung sa motivation or sa mismong discussion, pinapasok ko yung in ngayon sa generation nila. For example, nung nakaraan, nagturo ako na kinonect ko sa Shopee. Okay? Since alam ko na hindi naman lahat sila gusto yung subject ko na arts. Okay? Especially kapag hindi naman inclined sa arts or ang dami kasing information per quarter sa MAPE or sa specific na subject lang sa loob ng MAPE, yung component ng music, arts, ganyan. Arts pa lang, sobrang raming information na I think or I believe hindi yun mag-grasp agad ng estudyante. And ang ginagawa ko, kunyari, ang in ngayon ay Shopee. Okay? Ang gagawin ko, yung PowerPoint ko, mukha siyang Shopee interface. Tapos, sa end ng bawat subtopic, ang ginagawa ko, magtatanong ako, kunyari, ang date ngayon, January 6. O, sino si class number 6? Ganon, ang gagawin ko. Tatayo si class number 6, tapos tatanungin ko siya about sa Shopee na, anong gusto mong i-check out, tama ba? Check out. Ayan, add to cart pala. I-add to cart na mga item na diniscuss natin, ganyan. Ginawa ko siya sa Art 7 kasi mostly doon ay mga furnitures ang pinag-usapan, mga materials or mga things na meron sa Philippines. So, ayun, mga pearl accessories, mga ganyan. Yun. Mga tinatanong ko sila about it. Siguro yung isa rin na strategy and technique is pag-follow up. Ayun. Para siyang scaffolding. Okay? Para siyang scaffolding. If you know scaffolding, I believe pinag-aralan nyo na yun. Yung theory na scaffolding na hindi mag-grow yung isang bata kapag siya lang mag-isa or kailangan may help. Okay, yun. So, follow up hanggat na niya. Tapos, minsan naman, pag mababa yung score ng estudyante, ang ginagawa ko, pinapartake ko na siya ng same exam pero different question. Ganon. Tapos, dinidivided by 2 ko siya. Kunyari, hindi aabot talaga sa 75 yung grade, mag-retake ka ng summative test ko. Ganyan, para tumaas. Ganon yung ginagawa ko.
So for your
Ayan po. Ayan.
Thank you po, Kuya Nico.
Thank you din.
Thank you for sending Pastor Nico.
Po, and this interview, we would like to appreciate your time po kapag sa mag-interview. Ayan, so you have given us a clear view of your experience po.
True ba? Clear?
Strategies and of course yung advice po na surely na makakatulong sa amin in the future. So, ayun po, once again, thank you so much, sir. So,
Thank you rin.
Thank you po, Kuya Nico.
Thank you rin.
Ang tagapagsagip. Sige po, pwede na po. Thank you po.